Hi sewists, it's that time where I reveal what I've been sewing, and if you want to see what I've been making in the month of February, keep on watching. I surprised myself when I decided what I was going to make, that it was going to be more geared towards the summer, although that said, the items can be worn this time of year. So I ended up planning to make a couple of t-shirts, a little hoodie and a jacket. And guess what? I've actually done it. So without further ado, I'll show you what I've been making. If you can remember, I did say I wanted to make the Isla top from Tissuti. I will put pictures in of me wearing these. They're just t-shirts, but this one is quite interesting. I love this fabric. So if you just bear with me, and I'll turn it inside out, because it's not just an ordinary t-shirt. It's got some really nice style details. The front looks pretty much as you would expect a t-shirt, but it's the back that's really interesting. And I think when I was showing my plans, I showed the line drawing, but I don't think you can get an idea until you see the garment made, especially when I've got a light insides, so you can see that the back has a centre seam going to the yoke, and then there's this lovely sort of, it's curved and it goes into a, let me get that straight, it goes into a back wing type sleeve. Now I have got plans to hack this, which I will share in another video, but a really nice make, a really quick make. As you can see, it's all, I've not done anything on the sewing machine. The only time it went anywhere near something like a sewing machine was on my cover stitch, where I sewed up the hems. So that is the Tissuti. Now I initially made this as out of some spare plain cotton elastane jersey I had indoors, and I made the size which was recommended for my measurements, which was a size large. I have a 40-inch full bust, 37-inch high bust, and I wear a 14, 16 high street clothes. I made that, and it was too big, way too big at the back, but it was fine for a top to wear indoors for knocking about in, and it's quite a nice, even though it's a bit big, it's still quite a nice top to wear indoors. So I sized down with this. I was initially going to size down to the size small, but I just thought, because I'm not broad in the back, but I do have quite a broad back. I think that's from years of weight training, which has shaped my sort of upper back. So I did the size medium, but I'm a 42 hip, and my hip measurement is not width-wise. It tends to be more back to front, its depth, because of tummy and bottom. So I graded out by ½ inch, just so that it doesn't sit snugly on the hip, it just skims the hip. So that is my first make, and the fabric I got for that was a dead stock from Sew Me Sunshine last summer. The next one is, now that is my first proper make for wearing out. This make is a tried and true, one of my tried and trues, and I'm sure it's a tried and true for a lot of you. I've never made the dress. I've always meant to make the dress, but it's the Cocoa by Tilly and the Buttons. I've made lots of tops, and I've either made it in, well, mostly actually, all my tops have been in French terry. This is the first one that I've made in a cotton lycra jersey, and I love it. I bought this fabric from and drew it beyond the pink door again last summer. It was so pretty, and it's just essentially a t-shirt top. It's got set-in sleeves, but what's so nice about it, it's flopping a bit, it's better when it's on the body, is you've got this really wide neckline. Now you can either have it as I think if you make it as is without the extra bit, I think it's a turned in, but I would have put if it was me, I'd put a band, but this is the band that goes with, and I love it because as you can see I've got it's not a roll neck because it's just one layer, but a roll neck. By the way, this is the South Bank by Nina Lee, and I've had this years, 3-4 years ago. I made this in a French terry, but this, I love this neckline. I think it's so pretty, so pretty. Again, I'll put some pictures of me wearing it. Now, even though this is definitely a summer top, because I think the fabric is really bright and cheerful and very summery. I mean, the lemons give that away. But I did wear it last week under my navy blue corduroy pinafore, and it looked just as nice underneath that. So both these tops can be worn now. I mean, this one definitely because it's darker colours, but because it's a jungle print with those pops of sort of peachy pink, again, it could be worn in the summer. The third thing I made was, and this has become another tried and true, and that's the, oh, I forgot to tell you about the sizing. As I said, I'm a 40-inch chest, 14-16 ready to wear, and I always make the size 6 in Tilly's sizes. Now I'll show you this again after folding it up. You can see it's quite straight at the side. In the pattern, it goes in. If it had been a French terry, I might have put it in because of the way the French terry hangs, that little bit heavier. I quite like putting the shaping in, but I just wanted it to be a little bit more boxy. So I took the shaping out, and at the bottom, it's supposed to have a little side split. I didn't do that this time. I just made it as is, as that's to say, I seamed down the sides all the way down. The next one, as I said, this has become my tried and true. I've made 2 of these in a sweater knit. One was, again, it was just to see how the sizing related to my measurements, or my wearing measurements, and it was way too big, so I sized down for the next sweater knit, which I made in the summer. And this, for this time of year, I wanted something a little bit cozy, and this was fabric I bought a few months back now from, I bought 2 colourways, and this was the second colourway that I've now made up from First for Fabrics. I love this. It's a very lightweight. I don't know if it's very, I don't know if you can see, it's very soft and fluffy on the inside. I don't know if this is considered to be a brushed French terry or a very lightweight sweatshirting, but either way, it's a very lightweight, and it is lovely hood. It is the Unwind sweater by Pattern Emporium. Love this, so nice, really cozy indoors. But I have worn it out. We went for our first theatre trip a few weeks ago now, and at the Marlow in Canterbury, and it was mask wearing, but they also said they were going to leave the doors open for the ventilation, so I didn't want to be cold sat in the theatre for a couple of hours, so I put that on over a white shirt, and the white shirt just hung out underneath, which actually looked quite nice, and I was nice and toasty and warm. And I made the size 14, which fits my bust of 40 inches. It's a loose fit, as you can see. Again, I'll put pictures up. It's a loose fit, but I think it's just right. And there are 3 lengths, short, regular and long, and I went with the short length because I'm long in the body, but I am short, so I suspect it comes up a tad shorter than would it be on somebody that's got a shorter body, but I quite like that because it fits just at the bottom of my high hip, if that makes sense. Just literally where my tummy finishes, so it covers all the bits that I don't want to show. And then lastly, I made this, and I am so pleased with this. I'm going to do a separate video review on it because there are a couple of issues, but not unsurmountable issues, that I think need to be sort of pointed out, and I think it deserves a separate video just to explain those and the making of it, because it was a nice make. And that is, this is a big 4. I'm not all indie, I'm not all big 4. I would say I make 50-50. It depends on the pattern. If I like the pattern, I like the garment, then I don't care where the pattern comes from. Naturally, if I can support an independent pattern designer, I'll do that. But this is Simplicity 8700, and the sizing is small, medium, large, etc. And I did the size medium, which was supposed to be for a 36-38 inch bust. Now we know that the big 4s usually come up big, and with a jacket you don't want any more than 4-inch ease, otherwise it's just too big. If I'd been making this for the winter and wanted to stick a huge big chunky jumper on, maybe I would have gone up a size, but this is for summer wear, spring, summer, warm, autumn, so it's just going to be over a t-shirt or a light top. So I wanted it fairly neat fitting, especially on the shoulders. So I made the size medium, which was, as I say, for 36-38 bust. The finished measurements on it is a 45 inch, because the large, which would have been for my bust of 40-42, would have been a 49 inch finished width, which is nearly 10 inches more than my full bust. So it would have been way too big. So here it is. Now I wanted to use my notebook, make sure I didn't forget any details. So this pattern comes with lots of hacking ideas, and I was originally, as you can see, it's straight in the back. I was originally going to do put a casing on the inside, which is one of the hacks, to draw it up, but by the time I'd finished it, it was quite a neat fit. It fits me nice. I can do it up should I want to do it up. So there wasn't really the ease in the body to be putting any sort of draw cord in there. It would have given a couple of tiny little gathers, and it would have just looked silly. If I make this again in maybe a corduroy for the winter time, oh yes, one of the soft cords that's throughout, the soft jumbo cords, then maybe I'll consider sizing up and putting a draw cord through. I would like to make another one of these for the summer. I mean, one of the hacking ideas is to put embroidery on the back, and I quite fancy doing that and possibly making it in the white. So I'll quickly show you properly. Again, I'm going to put some decent pictures on, but you can see it's that sort of military style jacket. I'm sorry about I was snipping off all the little threads and trying to get the tacking thread off, but you've got the epaulets, you've got a collar and facing. There's my little bit of bias binding, and then I chose to do the 2 top pockets, and then there are 2 huge big nice pockets at the bottom. It's not cuffed as such. It does have a cuff, but it's a fixed cuff, and I really love it. and it was a really easy, nice make. But as I say, I'm going to do a separate video for this because I do think it deserves it. I need to stand up, talk about it, and show you. I mean, it's night time. It's actually quite late. It's about 10 o'clock. So I've got all my sort of light on behind, so I haven't got the room to move around. So when it's daylight tomorrow, I shall do another video. But I hope you like what I've made. Just a quick reminder, So Frugal is going on this month. It's actually started now, so if you haven't already started looking for patterns or actually sewing your make or starting to sew your make, you can now because we've passed the 1st of March. Entries are going to be on Instagram by the 31st, on the 31st of March, not by the on the 31st of March, tagging Ruan at Yorkshire Sew Girl and Sam at Frugalissima, and obviously the hashtag SewFrugal22. So good luck everyone, and I'll see you shortly. Bye now.